Deep within the ancient rainforests of Congo, shrouded in dense, mysterious foliage, lies secrets that have troubled explorers and scientists for generations. This vast, seemingly impenetrable wilderness has become the site of strange and unsettling discoveries beyond rational explanation, from bizarre creatures lurking in the shadows to phenomena that challenge scientific understanding. The most chilling discoveries in Congo recently have shaken the globe. The mystery of the world's deepest river, the Congo River, formerly known as the Zaire River from 1971 to 1997, later named after the Congo nation, is immense. With a length of 4,700 kilometers, it is one of the rivers with the largest drainage basin and water flow in the world, with over 35,000 cubic meters of water flowing into the Atlantic Ocean every second. Its depth is so great that no precise figure can be achieved. This river has the greatest hydroelectric potential in Africa. Scientists estimate that the entire Congo River basin occupies 30% of the world's hydroelectric potential. This potential could provide enough electricity for all sub-Saharan regions. The upper reaches of the river are 4,023 kilometers long, making it one of the world's most meandering rivers. It flows gently through Central Africa, its flow very stable due to its length, resulting in year-round rainfall in any region along its basin. The river flows through a total of 10 countries. The Congo also empties through a vast tropical rainforest, the largest in Africa and the second largest in the world after the Amazon. Until 500,000 years ago, the Congo River flowed into a large lake, 362 kilometers from the ocean. On either side of the river are the capitals Kinshasa and Brazzaville, separated by the river. These are the two closest capitals in the world, not counting Rome and Vatican City. From this point on, the Congo River flows at a very fast speed towards the sea. Most rivers in the world create fertile delta plains. However, the Congo River flows into the Atlantic Ocean through a narrow channel with some deeper sections. This 228-meter-long river is also known for a 120-kilometer-long gorge nicknamed the Gateway to Hell, with unpredictable and treacherous sections that even the most skilled oarsmen struggle to navigate. The river's flow creates magnificent waterfalls along its course, and there are up to 40 hydroelectric power plants operating along it, the largest being the Inga Falls Dam. Biologists are particularly interested in the lower Congo River region. This is where they first discovered communities of organisms separated not by mountains or oceans, but by the river's currents. In this section, the river is less than 1.6 kilometers wide, and entirely new species of fish are developing. This is a place with more unique organisms than anywhere else on Earth. The Bigm people, hidden deep within the rainforests of Central Africa, live there. They are the oldest inhabitants of Central Africa, mainly distributed in the forests of Congo, and are known as the Bigm people, a tribe that existed before explorers truly came into contact with and discovered them. Understanding them has always involved speculation that they are not human like us, but a tribe of hermaphrodites. However, from 1865 to 1870, an explorer with 3 nationalities, French, Belgian, and American, and a German botanist traveled to Africa to confirm the existence of this tribe. They became the first in modern history of the outside world to make contact with the Pygmy people. The Pygmy live in the deepest jungles. The areas where they usually live are difficult to reach, yet they have maintained their pristine, primitive nature for the past 8,000 years. Their lifestyle has remained virtually unchanged. The only evidence of technological progress among them is the iron tools they traded with other tribes. The vast majority of Pygmy people are only about 1.2 meters tall and no more than 1.4 meters tall, with an average weight of 35 kilograms, not exceeding 50 kilograms. They all share the characteristics of a protruding navel, a flat nose, a large belly, dark skin, curly hair, and long arms. Men have long legs and short arms like apes, while women wear only one piece of skin, and women use 1 or 2 bunches of green leaves, replaced daily, to cover their sensitive parts. Bigm women are particularly known for pressing special fruits to make cosmetics such as perfumes and face creams. Their makeup is also extremely unusual, following no particular style. They use leaves to draw colorful patterns on their faces, resembling sea monsters, to ward off evil spirits and bring good luck. It is believed that living in dense forests with low light conditions and a lack of vitamin D from sunlight limits their calcium absorption through diet. A lack of essential nutrients like calcium and iodine also contributes to their relatively short stature. However, due to living in the jungle, they possess genes that boost their immune system and are not afraid of infectious diseases. Remarkably, despite their small stature, BIM people develop physiologically very early. By the age of 8, both boys and girls of BIM have already reached the physical development of adults and can mate. By the age of 30, BIM boys and girls can become parents. So compared to our adulthood, BIM people have already become grandparents. Their life expectancy is usually under 40. BIM people live in small family groups, like a small tribe, with each small tribe having around 10 households. The houses of the BIM people in Africa are simply clumps of trees with branches intertwined with banana and palm leaves, more than 2 meters in diameter and about 1.2 meters high, with a small hole near the bottom for them to crawl into. These makeshift houses are built in a circle, with the house of the chief and elders in the middle, and 10 to 12 such clumps forming a village. These clumps are only temporary shelters because they are always migrating to different areas in the forest. The BIM people are a tribe that loves the forest very much. They consider themselves descendants of the green forest, calling the forest their parents. They only gather dry branches for firewood to build their huts and absolutely never cut down the forest, not even a single branch. In their daily lives, the men do hard work and hunt, while the women stay at home cooking, tending the fields, and caring for the children. Keeping the fire in the kitchen is extremely important for the women, as they believe that the extinguishing of the kitchen fire is a harbinger of a life of decline and destruction. Despite their small stature and light weight, the men of the BM tribe are the most daring hunters and extremely skilled archers, possessing incredibly sharp hearing and sight. Even animals moving kilometers away can be identified as large or small, male or female. Birds flying overhead or elephants weighing several tons are no problem for the BM men. They can bring down their prey with just a few arrows. The BM men are also very skilled at concocting poisons and weapons, making their weapons very potent, capable of taking down large animals with a single arrow. Many hunters also have techniques for collecting honey and other forest products in addition to hunting. They feed themselves and their families with animals, and hunted creatures like elephant bones, beetle shells, and antelope horns are also used to make jewelry and gifts for young men to bring to their husbands' homes as dowry. The Bitme people love to eat insects, especially ants. Any edible insect they can prepare into their favorite dish. In fact, they even have recipes for these insect dishes. Although they have their own language, the Bitme people don't know numbers or writing, nor do they understand the laws of time. Obviously, they never know their own fate. A wealthy, forgotten city, a lost city. Hidden deep within the mysterious Virunga region is a story full of mysteries and intrigue. Imagine you stumble upon an ancient city whose origins are lost in the mists of time. This hidden gem once sparkled with unimaginable wealth thanks to the glittering diamonds lying beneath its very soil. Legend says that the King Solomon discovered these precious gems and saw their potential to protect this newly discovered treasure. He established a settlement that would later become the cradle of a fascinating story within the fortified walls of Exayan. A unique endeavor took place. The city's inhabitants embarked on an extraordinary and daring project, breeding protective animals. Among them, the native gorillas of the Virunga region played a key role. These remarkable creatures were bred into a hybrid, neither entirely gorillas nor entirely human or chimpanzee. They became the guardians of Exayan, displaying extraordinary intelligence and unwavering devotion to protecting their home. However, as time flowed like a river, Exayan's fate took an unpredictable turn. The once bustling city was abandoned, leaving only whispers and echoes of its glorious past. The city's location became a closely guarded secret at the end of the century. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, explorers like Henry Morton Stanley and Richard Francis Button searched for the Ding. Inspired by stories of wealth and advanced people, some records suggest the city was built by an ancient civilization predating human history, with buildings made of mysterious, indestructible metal. The Ding beast, which existed from the 20th century, is one of many animals that explorers encountered when venturing deep into the jungle. The first reported sighting of the ding was by explorer John Alfred Jordan in 1907. He claimed to have seen the creature on the Marui River in Kenya, firing a shot at it when his boat was attacked. After being hit, the monster quickly fled. According to the explorer's description, the ding was over 4 meters long, with a head resembling a leopard but larger. Notably, the creature had 2 long fangs growing from its head, with its upper jaw sloping downwards like that of a sea lion, and its body covered in sharp, hard scales. It is believed to be an amphibian that usually lives near rivers, lakes, or bodies of water. A hunter named Edgar Peter Bronson also reported encountering this creature, describing it similarly to the story of the dangerous Jordan. He called it the forest walrus, the flying lizard, the killer Congo. According to stories from the indigenous people, this creature is said to be very strong and highly territorial. It may attack hippos, crocodiles, and even people who get too close. The Gamado is a mysterious creature living in deep swamps and along the equatorial regions of tropical Africa, a special area bordering Zambia, Congo, and Angola, which is of great interest to occult animal researchers due to frequent reports of strange animal sightings. The Gamado resembles a prehistoric bird with a wingspan of about 2 meters and is considered endemic to this region. It is very strong, with sharp teeth that cannot be stopped. It was a misidentified bird, a species not yet known to the public. This creature was described as completely featherless, with smooth skin, a wingspan of 1.4 to 2.1 meters, and a beak full of teeth. Locals even rumored that many people had been transformed into moths by this strange creature when crossing rivers. Some even carried amulets to protect themselves from the Congomado's attacks. In 1923, Fran Mellon described the beliefs of the Kan people, a tribe of Zambia, who called this creature the boat-overturning bird. In 1925, Trey Price heard stories of a demonic bird with a long beak attacking people in the swamps of Zimbabwe. One man, once injured by this creature, screamed in terror when shown a picture of the long-extinct Congo. In 1942, Colonel Jess Pittman reported stories told to him by indigenous people about a large creature resembling a bird and a bat living in the swamps of Babylon, now Zambia, which they believed to be the god of death. Traces of these creatures were found, with evidence of a long tail dragging along the ground. These reports were not limited to Zambia, but also occurred in other parts of Africa, such as Mount Kilimanjaro and Mount Kenya. In 1957, a man was hospitalized with a chest wound, which he claimed was caused by a large bird in the Pelus swamps. When asked to draw the creature, he drew a flying lizard-like creature. Reports of flying creatures resembling prehistoric lizards did not stop in the swamps, but continued to be collected in the deserts of Namibia. In 1988, Professor Roy Mell led an expedition to Namibia, the origin of these reports. Reports of a mysterious creature with a wingspan of up to 9.14 meters continue to spread. People often see them gliding at sunset through the spaces between 2 hills a mile apart. Although the expedition yielded no conclusive evidence, one member of the team claimed to have seen the creature from a distance of about 300 meters. He described it as resembling a black, white-hued vessel. Paleontologist K. Winman suggests that the belief in the existence of the Kanto species originated with the indigenous people who participated in the excavation of the skeletons of flying lizards in the Tindararu fossil layers in Tanzania before World War II. A plausible explanation for these stories is that prehistoric flying lizards still exist today, belonging to the Mesozoic era, and may still be living in some secret cave. Fossils of the flying lizard species Chelis, Sumarteris, and others exist. The Chura-era flying creature was discovered in Tanzania, Africa. Archaeologists have only found 2 fossils of this Cretaceous flying creature, a wing bone of the Onit-Chus in Congo, and a cervical vertebra of a species similar to the giant vacal. However, fossil data in South Africa is much richer, and at the time the 2 continents were connected, we have reason to believe we could see more specimens of mythical creatures from the ancient world. So, did this prehistoric creature really exist? If it did, would people have seen them flying back and forth in search of food, or would these flying creatures know how to hide themselves from human eyes? The darkest river in the world. The Ruki River is known as the darkest river in the world. This treacherous waterway winds through the dense tropical rainforest in the Mekong River basin. The water of this mysterious river flowing through the Republic of Congo is as black as midnight. This river holds a mystery that the community, for a long time, science has been unable to explain why. Like many other black rivers, the color of the Rucky River comes from organic compounds dissolved in the water, abbreviated as DOC. Its lack of sediment also contributes to this. Although the clear stream flowing from the mountains is dark, it rarely becomes as intensely black as the material in tropical rainforests. What gives the Rucky its characteristic color is that it flows over a nearly flat surface, so it doesn't accumulate much sediment. On the other hand, heavy rains in the region wash away DOC from vegetation on the forest floor during the rainy season. The flat surface causes large areas to be flooded for weeks, leading to the leakage of more compounds. However, recognizing that there was no scientific explanation for why the Rucky River is darker than other rivers that pass through tropical rainforests, scientists undertook a bold mission, installing a measuring device near the river. What they found was astonishing. They measured the density and age of DOC in the water to determine if it came from the tambung swamps along the riverbanks, which retain plant matter. A gigantic, undecayed swamp. Currently, this process is turning the area into a carbon sink. But if the carbon in the swamp escapes and is released into the atmosphere, it will become a source of global warming. Carbon dating results from the research team indicate that this is highly unlikely to happen. Researchers found that the Rucky River has 4 times more carbon dioxide per liter than the Congo River, even though the river is very oily. Organic acids can dissolve carbonates and release carbon dioxide, but this does not happen at an alarming level. The river is very calm, and when the river water is saturated, carbon dioxide and this gas cannot escape easily, preventing the formation of more CO2. To date, science and humanity are still amazed by the dark river and the undiscovered creatures lurking beneath its surface, captivating the human imagination. The giant swamp, the Captivate Center, a newly discovered swamp located in the center of a basin covering 145.5 square kilometers, is larger than the entire country of England. The swamp stores 30 billion tons of carbon dioxide, carbon equivalent to the world's total fossil fuel emissions over 3 years. Boreholes are a type of organic wetland formed after plants die. Boreholes act as carbon sinks by removing carbon from the atmosphere through plant growth. If bogholes dry out due to agricultural dredging, it can promote the decomposition of bogholes, releasing CO2 back into the atmosphere. Boreholes have an average depth of 2 meters and contain an estimated 30 BDM of carbon underground, equivalent to the carbon reserves on the surface in the forests of the Congo Basin. If 1/3 of this boghole were burned, the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere would double, and the Earth's atmosphere would warm by 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Boreholes only become a climate change mitigation resource when they remain intact. Therefore, maintaining the storage of large amounts of carbon in stable bogholes should be a priority.